I will kick it off. I'll share my screen and we can start to walk through the MyTRUMPF platform. So to start, I figured I would show you guys what it looks like with the registration process. Pretty easy to register. It takes about a day to get your account up and running. So this is your screen when you go to mytrumpf.com. It gives you the option whether or not you want to log in or register. So if you were to click register, it would bring you to the registration, which I've already pre-filled just so we can move through it quick together. You enter in your email address. If it's already in use, it'll tell you. Just click through. It'll ask you some basic personal data. It wants to know your name, your phone number, department, and why you're registering. So big drop down here, but I see a lot of eShop and I see a lot of service cases. That's the primary reason for joining. A little bit about your company that you're registering with. This is so we make sure that we assign the right machine list to you when you're registering. So every account is tied to a customer number. Every customer number is assigned to a machine list. So we want to make sure that you have access to the machines that are in your facility. So if you give us the address of the facility that you are attempting to have access to, as well as the correlating customer number for that facility, or a machine number, machine serial number of a machine that's in the facility. So then from there you would create a password and you are good to go. The registration process looks like this. You would click submit. You would get a verification email that would go to the email address that you registered with. Once you click that, it's kicked back over to our side, and a key user from Trumpf will go and approve your account. Like I said, usually about a day to get your account up and running. So then from there, you can hop back over to the login screen, enter in your credentials, and start using MyTRUMPF. So this is your login screen. This is your start page. When you look in, this will be your view. You have a couple of quick favorites over here that will navigate you to the most useful parts of the website. You can also get to these parts of the website using this top tile. So just a brief overview. If you were to click into My Factory, you can see my machines, my software, my orders, and Smart Factory Suite. Many of these are actually over here, like I said before. If you wanted to access our eShop, you have the main eShop and the bending eShop. From here, you can click in, and there are some quick favorites. If you wanted to explore service, whether it was your service calls or your downloads, you can access it here. And then some expertise if you wanted some more information on certain things. So with this main page, you have the opportunity to search anything in MyTRUMPF up here. You can contact one of our key users. You can log out. There's usually another. Okay. Your personal information right here that you can go in and change. The user guide is useful information for navigating the eShop, navigating MyTRUMPF. So we'll go through all of these tiles on the side, but I do want to point out a couple of pieces of information before we get there. If we were to scroll down a little bit, any orders, any deliveries that you have on the way could be tracked right here. This is just a quick overview. I will also show you how to, go back in the history of your orders. Same thing with service calls. Any active service calls will appear here. You can also go into the history a little bit further. You have the capability of favoriting machines. So if there are machines that you frequently buy consumables for example, you can favorite them. It would pop up here, quick access on your start page. And I think the most important part is down at the bottom. You have some useful links, some contacts directly for your organization, and then these helpful videos down below. So My Trump in a Minute is a very well-defined, clear way to navigate through MyTrump. So if you guys are confused at all, I really suggest that you go and take a look at these videos. If you click into this, it'll show you a breakdown of the different categories, different parts of the website, and explanations on how to navigate. So let's get into it. Let's look at our eShop to start. So if you were to navigate to the quick access panel, genuine parts on the side, it'll bring you to our eShop page. So this is the main eShop page. From here, you can go a couple of different ways. The best way to order is with one of our material numbers. Conveniently enough, on most of the packaging that our spare parts have, they have the material number listed. So if this is a part that you're reordering, you should be able to easily locate that material number. From here, you can navigate by selecting machine or searching by the product name, product designation, or the material number. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see your favorites list. You'll also see your machines. So from here, you either have a drop down and you can select the machine that you're looking for, or you can click through and find it exactly. So let's look at a laser. We have two different views here. You have the exploded view, and you can go directly to our eShop if you click genuine parts. So I'll show you the exploded view first. Many customers find this interesting. So basically what it is it's a big diagram of the machine, and it gives you part numbers that correlate with each subassembly, and you can follow this down to the part itself. You can also navigate over on the side here if that would be more useful. So if you click the specific part that you're looking for, it'll highlight it over here, give you the exact part number and description. So if you were to order it, this is how you could find it in our exploded view. But for now, I will back up a little bit, go back to the eShop. At any point, if you'd like to always go back to your start page, you can navigate to this top button in the upper left-hand corner. We'll go back to the main eShop for now so I can show you genuine parts. So if we go back to that same laser from before and we navigate to genuine parts, I'll show you what our eShop looks like. So this is our main eShop. Like I said before, it is easiest if you search by the product name or the material number, but you can go in by the different types of technology and narrow it down this way as well. But for the time being, I will grab a part number over on my other screen so we can search for maybe a nozzle. So as you see, I haven't hit enter or anything. This is just, I just entered in the material number, and it gives you two different options to search by here. So you can search by the item itself, which is what I typed in, or you can search by the category. Now in this case, this is an EAA 2.0 nozzle. So these categories will bring you to the product line, whereas this will bring you directly to the item itself. So let's just say I wanted to explore the line. is we have a number of different sizes. So right here, I can click into it. I could also explore all of the different lines of nozzles that we have too, that are all listed right here. I'll click into the standard M12. I think for this, of course, it says no compatible machine found. So that's a good feature that we have here. You know, just to let you know if the parts that you're looking at won't be compatible with your machine. So I think I'll be able to get by it though.
Just to jump in really quick, Phil, that feature is because this is a demo account, there's actually no serial number assigned to these machines. So it won't able to locate that if this is a compatible machine or not for this specific nozzle that we're looking at right now. So on your account, when you actually, any customer that makes an account, you'll have a serial number tied to the actual machinery that's out on your shop floor, and then that feature will be able to actually recognize, is this a compatible type of nozzle for this machine? So just because this is a demo account that you don't see that possibility here.
Thanks, Darren. So from here, if the product you're selecting has different sizes, there's a drop down to select exactly what you're looking for, and then you can put it in your cart. It gives you a description, maybe similar products or something that would go along with it. For example, this is the ceramic or the ceramics that would fit this part. At any point, if you wanted to go back, we do have a way to do that right up here on the left-hand side. But for now, I will go back to the start page. I'll show you the My Machines tab. You can also enter the bending eShop right here as well. We're going to My Machines. You'll be able to see all the machines that are listed underneath your customer number. Like I said earlier, there's a machine list that's attached to every single account, and that's based off of the customer number that's assigned to your account when you register. So if you wanted to add a new machine, you could do so right here. It asks you some basic information, and then you just click submit. If we scroll down a little bit, this green button right here looks like a bookmark almost. This is how you would favorite your machines. So I showed you earlier on the start page that there's a favorite section. If you want those machines to show up there, you just click this little bookmark. If it turns green, it will appear in that tile. So you have a couple of different a couple of different navigation tools here. We could click into the details of the machine. Oh, I'm sorry, this is the service case. If you wanted to create a service case directly from your machine, you could do it right here. This would bring you to genuine parts for this machine specifically, and then of course the details of the machine. So within the details of the machine, you can see any service agreements that you have on the machine, any equipment that comes with it, different types of automation, training courses related to this machine, and then an operator's manual. You can also create a service case directly from this screen or the machine that we were, or the page that we were just looking at. So that's the My Machines tab. You can search for a machine based off of the machine number. You can put filters on to find just what you need. But going down the list, if we went to My Orders, this will give you a list of all the orders associated with the customer number. It's not specific just to this account. but any account that has access to the same machine list, all the orders will end up here. So anyone in the organization that orders spare parts for a specific machine will end up here. So if we were to click into an order, you can see some basic information. If it's out for delivery, there's usually a tracking number listed right here. Shows you the order value, delivery address, invoice address, basic information. Again, you can search for your orders. You can narrow it down based off of the date. You can set filters based off of the machine that it was purchased for. You know, different statuses if it's still in progress, if you haven't received it yet. So this is how you would search your orders. Along the same lines, here's a list of all your service cases associated with your machines. You can filter them based off of machine, based if they're still open within a date range. You can also create a service case directly from the screen if you'd like. But here's a history of all of your service cases. From there, you can click into each individual one. You can see details, whether it's technical guides that were suggested, the different progress is stored here. So communication between the customer and our service team, and then any contact information. Lastly, you can navigate down to training courses. I'm in a demo account, so I don't think I'll be able to book any training, but this is where you can browse all the courses that we have available. This spans anywhere from programming to machine operator, maintenance courses, etc. So it'll bring you to a new window, and this is where you would book all your training. So as a whole, that's pretty much the eShop. Like I said, there are some very, very useful videos if you'd like to learn a little bit more. If you navigate all the way down to the bottom of your start page, My Trump in a Minute, and click into that, there are some useful videos on every aspect of this website and the eShop. But at this point, I'll pass it over to Darren, who's going to talk to you guys about the service app and smart classes.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. Great overview of MyTRUMPF. And as we looked at MyTRUMPF is the basis for the next application that we're actually going to be looking at. So in order to log into what we call our service app, which I'll show you in a second, let me just share my screen on my iPad. You will actually need a MyTRUMPF account in order to log in. I'll share my screen, and then we'll jump into the service app itself. Everyone should be able to see. So right here, I have the service app itself. In this bottom right-hand corner, I'm going to click into it. I'm actually already logged into the service app currently. So once I click into the service app, it's going to show me the main screen of the service app, which is great. But in order to actually log into this account, you will need a MyTRUMPF account. So I actually linked it right in the chat. So if you haven't already, please do sign up for a MyTRUMPF account. All you will need is either a customer number or a machine serial number that's located at your facility, and then we should be able to set up that account within the next day for you, and then you should be able to utilize either MyTRUMPF itself and or the service app that we'll take a look at right now. So let me hop into the service app. Back out of it. I was playing around a little bit earlier. So on the bottom side of this application, you have your main navigation. So you have four little tiles on the bottom. You have machines. This is going to show you a list of your facility and all the machines at that facility. So right now we're actually looking at our facility over in Chicago. So this is our smart factory. These are all the machines that are located within the smart factory right now. You have this great ability at the top to filter down, so you can look at, if you want to look at, let's say, laser cutting machines, if you want to look at bending machines, and whatnot, you can go ahead and filter down to those machines and only see those ones itself. You also have the ability on a user level to say, let's say, I only work on laser machines at my facility. You can actually go into your user settings, and I'll click this top right-hand corner icon. It looks like a gear. You can go into your user settings and click machine selection, and then you can actually list out, okay, I only want to see these machines at my facility. So you can really customize this to be tailored to specifically you and what you do at your the facility that you work at. So if you only work with laser machines and that's all you want to see, you can make that selection here. And this is on a user by user basis. It's not across the company. So anybody that works at that facility will be able to see everything, and then you can tailor it to yourself, which is a great part about the service app itself. So let me go back to that My Machine screen. I'll go ahead and get rid of that filter. We see everything here. The next part that I want to jump into is on that bottom navigation screen is cases. So this is probably the most important part about the service app itself is the ability to see all service cases for your machines and the ability to also submit service cases for those machines. So we come here, we see a case overview of all the cases that have been put through for TUSC for this instance. So you can do the same thing. You have the ability to filter out whatever you want here. This gives you the option to say active cases, cases transmitted, transmission failed, case in progress, waiting on feedback, closed cases, anything. You could really filter it down to whatever you want to see here. You can also filter by machine. So say I want to only see you know, the certain cases that were made for this TrueMatic machine. I can go ahead and do that and just filter for that machine specifically. Or we can go back to all machines and see a full case overview. So we have a couple of different options. We can either click into one of these cases to review, something that's already happened. So these are just test cases that we're looking at. This was a case that was created the other day. Um, you can see the history at the bottom. You can see the contact. So this is going to be the contact associated for this case. In this case, this is just somebody internal here. But if you were to submit a case on your account information would show up here. You do have the ability to change this when you do submit that case. So you can actually choose, hey, I'm about to leave for the day. The second shift's about to come on. You can actually put in that person's contact information here. And then when we go through this case and review it, we can contact the correct person rather than contacting you and then having you facilitate, that communication to that other person. You can do it right here in the app, which is a great part. So I'll actually go back to this main screen here, and what I'm going to do is create a service case. So we'll go through it together. This is going to bring up the case creation screen. You're going to select a reason. Let's say your machine's down. You're going to select the machine itself. So in here, I'll actually come down and I will do a TrueLaser 5030 fiber. You can put in an error code number. So in this case, I'm going to type in 25,000. Error description. You can say collision. So there was a collision at my machine. That's the error number that was actually coming up. What I can do from there is actually import, take a photo, record a video, or import video. So you have the ability to, right when you're there, you can either pull out your phone, pull out your tablet, pull out whatever device you can actually download this service app to, and you can import any videos, any pictures, anything that would be helpful for the case owner to be able to diagnose any issues with that machine. So you can add that right here to this case. Like I said, you can choose the contact that's associated here. So right here, we just have an internal address book. You can link it to your address book on your phone. There's no linkage to us. We don't see that personal data, but you can link it to that address book on your phone. And then you can choose, let's say, the second shift guy. Joe Schmo is going to be on, second shift. You can select him right out of your address book and input his information right here for us to be able to, contact him. At the very bottom, you either have the option to submit a service case or cancel the service case. What I'm going to do is click submit. Once submitted, it will say that it's been successfully submitted. You also get the case number right there, so you can use that for your own reference. You can write it down somewhere, but you do have the service app that's going to give you that regardless. So what I will do is press OK. It's going to load me actually into that case itself. There's going to be a couple of things that happen. It's going to record that history there. This is going to set up and load. What I will get in a couple of seconds, hopefully. Might have chosen the wrong machine, so that's why we're not seeing it here, but I can go back and show you anyways. For the error number that we actually put into this case, if there is what's called a technical guide or solution documentation that we have to fix that issue that you had recorded for this, you can go ahead and do that. But before I show you a technical guide, I just want to show you another feature in here. You can add information. So let's say, hey, the machine was broken. I played around with the machine and was able to, get something working, to limp the machine on. And I just wanted to record that. So I could say adjusted linkage. And then I'll put machine limping along. I'll put that in there. It's throwing a new error code number. So we'll put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can also add in any more attachments that you want to add in there, and then you just click add information. As you can see here at the bottom, you can see that the history has been updated. So you see case amended. I put in that adjusted linkage machine limping along there and a new error code that's now showing for that. So you can add any information in here and then you can keep that log. In the event that a PSG representative from our service department picks this case up, it will actually show in that history that somebody has picked up this case. And what they have the ability to do is actually set up a chat with you. So they can chat back and forth with you about anything that's happening with that case, and you can talk right through the service app. So I'll actually go back into one of these test cases, and I'll click on this case. So here, this is actually one of our services that we offer for some of our machines. It's called proactive service. So what our service team actually does is proactively create a case for you, notifying you that we've identified something with your machine data and want to notify you about it. So right now we have a message from TRUMPF. It says anomaly found. The true disk water level is too low. It gives you a little brief description about, why the water level is low. And then it says, do you need assistance or have any questions? If so, you can contact technical support and let us know what's going on there. But if we look lower down here, we have what's called a technical guide, and it says your first step to this solution. So if you go ahead and click show, you get right into that technical guide right here. We actually have 3 technical guides. I'm going to click one of them. We're going to go into this. It's just going to give you a brief disclaimer saying that you give the authorization, that you're a fit person to actually work on the machine. We don't want anybody just, rummaging through the machine that's not actually trained to do so. So there's a little disclaimer here. You can go ahead and click proceed. Once you get in there, what a technical guide is solution documentation or a step-by-step guide on how to fix said issue that you may be seeing at your machine. So it gives you general safety information. Make sure you're an authorized personnel to be working on it. It will give you the technical guide, the error number that you might have seen on your machine. Right here we have at the true control, give you a certain warning. The symptoms of that error code actually happening. What does it actually mean? So in this case, it's too little water in the tank, and then it will give you a workaround. So a step-by-step documentation on how to fix this issue. So as I scroll through this, you can all see that this is literally a step-by-step guide telling you how to go through your HMI, diagnose the issues that's there, look into whatever section you need to. Evaluate the sensors that's actually throwing that code. And then right here, we have the procedure of refilling the cooling water. Make sure that the conductivity of that water is correct and whatnot, and where to import it. And then from there, what you would do once you completed these step-by-step instructions, you go ahead and click finish. And then it will ask you actually for feedback. So you can say, did this successfully fix your problem? Yes or no? Was there something wrong in this technical guide? We always want feedback about the things that we're providing to you to make sure the experience is that much better. So if there's any tips or, things that you may have seen on your side that we did not cover in that technical guide, you can do it right here. I'm just going to put in test, and then I'll put a thumbs up and click send. So that's going to say, yes, I did everything there. It's going to actually update on the bottom history that the technical guide was successfully carried out. So it's going to track that I actually used this technical guide to fix said problem. And from there, you can go ahead and either close this case out. If you want to reply back to the tech that created this case, you can reply back there and say, hey, everything worked out for us. We fixed the problem and everything should be good now. And then you can go and close that case from there. So the service app is a very useful guide for you to either receive information on how to fix your machine without even talking to anybody from Trump, and or just to keep a track of all the cases you may have on that machine. So that's a great thing here. We also have a order function, and let me turn around and grab a consumable so we can test this out. Or 1 second. Phil's helping me out with the nozzle that we're going to use. Thank you. So, got a pack of nozzles here, and what we have the ability to do now with the service app itself is I have this nozzle right here in my hand. I'm going to place it on the desk. Hopefully it doesn't cut out the video, but I'm going to select the machine that I'm trying to use, so TrueLaser 5030, and then I'm going to start object recognition. It's going to ask me this little question. I don't really need to go over this, but I go ahead and click start. It's going to access my camera. You guys should see it. This is my desk here. What I'll do is focus on this nozzle. I'll place it in hopefully you'll pick that up. We'll go ahead and click a picture of it. Take that, click submit. And what this is going to be able to do is recognize a couple of things, and it looks like the background's messing it up, but it's saying clamp. It should be a nozzle. If we had a better background to take a picture of this, it would work a little bit better. So let's give it another try one more time. See if I could get a better picture of it. There we go. So we got a couple of different nozzles that came up here. You can really go into, okay, I want this nozzle that's a D04. Select that article. It will show you the nozzle itself, and you can actually get that part number right there for that nozzle if you didn't know. So if there's ever a part that you didn't or weren't able to identify there, you could get that right here through the object recognition on this order screen here, and then you can see duly fit that, hey, this is the material number for the part that I may not be able to identify myself. And then you can call in or message right through the service app to the technician and say, hey, is this correct? Is this the correct part that I need to fix this machine? And they can verify it at that point. So I'll go back into the main case screen, but I'm actually going to move over to the calendar screen. The calendar screen is actually going to give you an overview of your missions that may be coming up throughout the future. So we have a couple of repairs here, a maintenance visit for one of the machines, and so on and so forth as I scroll through the different months here. What I can do is click into any of these. These are actual service missions that have been booked. In this case, this was a maintenance on one of these machines here. I can open the service report. It's going to give me that maintenance report here. I can go into it itself and or download it. Try this again. And then I have the mission report right here. It's going to give all the activities, what actually happened, where we went, how much time did it take to actually do. It gives us notes on what actually was performed. So in this case, it was a PM checklist. They go through it. They say that all these values are good. And then you see at the very bottom, you actually have the sign off. So if you ever wanted to go back into your service history and say, hey, remember that guy that came to fix that issue, 3 months ago? What did he actually fix? What were the parts that were ordered and such? You can go back into this calendar view, go into that specific date that the gentleman that had came to your facility to fix your machine came, and you can locate this service report and see it right here. And then you can see that somebody signed off on it right at the bottom. So you can see, hey, they verified that everything was working. Maybe we saw something different on our side, but here's a little verification that you can see through here in the service report. So that's a overview of our service app itself. Does anybody have any questions before I move on to Trump Visual Assistance? Feel free to type your questions in the chat and or just unmute your mic, and then we can have a conversation right now.
Hey, Darren, this is Mark. I got one question on, let's just say PM visits.
Yep.
Is there somewhere in either the app or on the MyTRUMP that shows if a customer has PM visits already paid for when they purchase a machine, and to show that they have, how many they have? And or is there a way to go on and schedule a PM visit?
Yep. So you can schedule a PM visit by, submitting that case and just say, hey, I need to schedule a PM visit. You can put that right in that case when you go to create one. You can do that there with the ability to see how many preventative visits you have left and or have already purchased. Unfortunately, right now, we don't have the ability to see that in the service app, but definitely we'll take this feedback and bring it back to our service app team and see if there's something down the road that we'd be able to provide. So, we kind of clear up that, do I have a PM still pending or do I not? You can see that there. So we'll definitely bring that back to our team. We appreciate the feedback on that, but not right now. And then I also have a question in the chat, and it says, so the question is, does the service app support older machines? Yes, it does support older machines as long as we can reference this list of machines in our database, which these older machines also do show up there. You can create cases and whatnot through the service app through there, and they should be able to show within this machines tab. So we can support those older machines there. And then, is a technician available to respond during off hours? So we do have a 24-hour service. Obviously, with 24-hour services, you're a little bit limited just because there's not, let's say, trained professional techs available at all times for all machines. So for the standard machines, you are able to get an answer within kind of the 24-hour scope or off-hour times. And I can send a further communication after this meeting about what are those times that our service department is actually available and what machines are fully supported during that time. So I can send you that information over. But yes, you should be able to submit a case whenever you want. And then if there is an available tech that should be able to answer some type of question, if we haven't already given you that technical guide to fix that problem, and whatnot, we will be able to respond either via the service app or pick up the phone and give you a call. So usually it's better for standard machines if you have, let's say, a complicated, machine that's more of like a true laser center, something that takes a lot more expertise to be able to support. You may be waiting till that next day to get some response back from our technical support people. But other than that, the standard machines, usually you get a response back as soon as possible from any of the techs that are available in those off hours. So I hope that answers your question, Brad. Anybody else has any questions before I move on to Trump Visual Assistance?
Yeah, I'd like to just mention something here. I've got really distracted. I've been trying to pay attention. We've got some breakdowns here, so bear with me if you've already covered some of this. Yep. I attempted to use the app yesterday to order some nozzles, and the nozzles that it kept pulling up, it would not pull up the one that I wanted. I wanted a 2.0. It pulled up a 1.0. It pulled up a 2.7. And it pulled up the right series of nozzles, but it did not seem to reflect that nozzle
didn't give you that diameter. And you were doing that through MyTRUMPF in the eShop?
I was doing that through the app. I took a picture, I was processing that, but it would not pull up the correct nozzle. And that takes me also to the first gentleman that did his. I was walking through the genuine parts with him, and it did not appear that the nozzles was even in my machine. So I'm not
into
sure
your
if it's.
machines. So
So it
let
looked like
me
that. Go ahead.
let me grab your information after this, and I'll actually give you a call after this meeting, and we'll actually go through and try to diagnose. There may be an error or something that's coming up that won't allow you to get that. So we'll definitely look into it with you. It seems to just be a mapping error on the back end of our side, so we can definitely look into that with you. Find out what is the specific material number and diameter that you're trying to order, and see if there's any way that we can get that fixed within the system.
Okay.
Right. So it's Bradley, right?
Yes.
All right. Phil, if you can take down Bradley's information while I move on to the next part, that would be great. And then we can touch base with him after this meeting.
You got it.
All right. Thanks, Phil. So moving on to Trump Visual Assistant. So I'm going to have to do two things on my side. So bear with me as I get set up. So Trump Visual Assistant, as easily put, is a very useful app when your machine's down and you don't really know what to do. And you know, one of the best ways to actually get the information that we need to receive on our end to be able to support you is actually just a face-to-face call with you. You know, we want to see what's actually happening at your machine without actually being there. So what we're going to do is hop into the Trump Visual Assistance app. This is right here. You can download it right through the App Store on any of your mobile devices. And on the other screen that I have my computer, I'm actually going to set up a call with this user. So let's make sure I'm set up here. I have to refresh. Bear with me, it may stop. I'm actually going to end the screen sharing on this device and start it on my computer. I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna log into this account here. And we pop up right here. So what I'm going to do is give this user a call. This is actually the one that I'm utilizing right now. So I'll go ahead and call this user. On my screen on the Trump Visual Assistance app, I'm actually seeing the same information that's popping up here. So you get a safety waiver. It's that pretty much same safety waiver we saw within the service app when we pulled open a technical guide. It says, are you sufficient to do the work on the machine? And are you in a safe environment to actually utilize this? So you're just going to click I understand and accept. I will mute myself in this call just so we don't hear any static noise there. I'm going to join now, and that's going to prompt the call to come to my iPad itself. So I will open that same thing right here, and I'll leave the camera on so you all can see. And I will join the call. So in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll start to see me point to actually the screen outside. So that's just a view of the office here in Farmington. So what I will do is actually click this screen, and what's going to happen is we're going to share whatever I'm showing on that screen here. So I'll do a little pan around the office itself. This is my desk. Those are the smart glasses actually sitting there. And you'll be able to talk one-on-one with a tech via this platform. So very similar to a FaceTime call, except I have some really cool features that I want to show you today. So let me prop this iPad up just so I can put it on a stand here. Move it to this side, put a couple of things out on here within the frame just to show you. And what I'm going to do on my screen right now is put a navigation mode. So within the app, I can actually tell you, hey, walk over here and walk to this direction of the machine. And I can notate that right on the screen as we look at it together. So anything that is shown there is actually showing on the application itself. I can tell you to slow down or I can tell you to stop, all with this navigation mode here. So one of the other cool things that I love about the Trump Visual Assistance app is that I can actually go ahead and pause the screen. This is going to enhance the image here. Takes a couple of seconds. It just pre-processes this images, makes the image quality a little bit better. So we'll let this sit for a second. Usually if there's some issue with processing or connection to that, it might take a little bit longer than needed, but I can also show you just for time's sake. We'll resume this video. What I can do is actually annotate other things on the screen other than the direction I want you to look in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some circles and I'm going to say, hey, this is the object that we want to identify, and I can tell you right there. The other ability is I can give you a thumbs up. Hey, great job. You're doing good. Or I could say, no, that was really bad. You shouldn't have done that. You could tell them to back up or go forward, whatever it may be. The other cool part is actually the chat function on here. So if I'm communicating with anybody, I can actually send on-screen text to this person and can say, hi, this is Darren. And I can send that right through the service app. So on the Trump Visual Assistance app, it actually shows that chat message as I'm viewing the screen itself, and actually comes up and it says that. So if I actually, there's a lot of noise on the shop floor and you can't hear me, I can communicate via chat, and you'll be able to see that on your screen there. So there's a little chat function that's also built into this. Let me try freezing the screen again, see if it loads up for us. And if not, I should still be able to pretty much show you what's going on. So let's say I'm looking in the electrical cabinet of the machine. I know there's a blank image here that we see, but let's use our imaginations here. We're looking into electrical cabinet and we have about 20 different switches. I can go in and I can use this box tool to put boxes around all the switches I need you to actually flip off or disconnect from that electrical cabinet with that. I can put arrows on this. I can drag arrows, and this will actually stay on screen. I know it's disappearing as I let go of the mouse here, but just for intensive purposes, I can put arrows to say, okay, these are the actual things that I want on that frozen screen. So what we have the ability to do here is freeze that screen and actually show customers, hey, look in this electrical cabinet. I want you to take these 3 switches, turn them off, and I want you to go over here. I can point them in that direction, and I can say flip the breaker on this side, and you should be all set from there. And then flip that breaker back off, and then the machine will reset. We'll turn those switches back on and get that machine up and working again. So we have the ability to do that. And for that, that's pretty much everything about the Trump Visual Assistance app itself. It's really a visual tool that we help to diagnose issues with our machines with customers. So you can either use the Trump Visual Assistance app on a tablet, you can use it on your mobile device, but we also have this device. And let me shift the screen over a little bit. And right here, I'll prop it up so we can all look at it together. This is a pair of our smart glasses. So these smart glasses do the same thing that this tablet does, except the tablet is kind of integrated into this headset. We have a camera right here that allows the user to actually do the same thing that I'm doing with the tablet itself, is to see what I'm seeing in real time. This is a little power button on the side, and then what you have here, I'll turn it around, it's a little monocle. If I could get it in frame, it's a little monocle that has a computer screen behind it, and you're able to see what I'm seeing right now on screen. So this little monocle is going to display the same image that we're both looking at through here. So I can see if the tech is trying to show me something on his side. Let's say I pull up a technical document that's going to show a picture of something. I can actually see that right through here, and I can see all the annotations we just talked about on screen there through this device. So this is a hands-free application. Obviously, I'm holding, as you can see, I only have one hand available to flash in front of the camera. camera. My other hand is holding the device. So if I were to use the smart glasses, I have a hands-free application in order to actually do so and start diagnosing issues with the machine from there and use both hands. So let's say I was getting walked through a repair. I need both hands to hold, one wrench and another wrench in the other hand to tighten or loosen a bolt, whatever it may be. I can do that with the smart glasses. If I wanted to do that with the tablet in my hand, I would obviously have to go ahead and put that tablet down and then work on that, and then hopefully pick up that tablet again and show the tech that I completed that repair on the machine. So we have the ease of use with the smart glasses that we're looking at on screen right now, or you can utilize your mobile device, whatever is most comfortable or easiest for you. But that's pretty much it for the Trump Visual Assistance app. Does anybody have any questions about that? All right. So we want to, Phil and I want to thank you again for you all attending this little seminar we had here to teach you about MyTrump, the service app, and Trump Visual Assistance through the smart glasses or a mobile device. If you have any questions for us, you can either message either one of us. You have our emails per this meeting invite. So mine's darren.crowder@trump.com. Phil is phil.orsi@trump.com. You can message us either there. You can also give us a shout after this meeting if you want. And I believe Bradley will give you a call to touch base on that nozzle that you were missing in the eShop and look into that. But yeah, we just want to say thank you again for your time today, and we hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, everyone.
Darren.
I'll send out a recording of this meeting if anybody wants to review any part of it. I'll attach a couple of resources too if anybody has any questions. But all right.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate
Thanks,
your time.
everyone. Have a good rest of your day.